If you're looking for the cheapest, and I mean cheapest coins out there to build your God Squad, head over to AOEAH.com. They are fast and reliable, and make sure you use code WOLF to get 3% off. Link is in the description. Now this video right here, I'm gonna remake probably within the first week of Madden 23. But for those of you that want to get a head start learning and practicing the stuff in Madden, I'm gonna explain to you guys the blues. All right, so blue zones, your backfield, your safeties, your cornerbacks, because you can put them in certain coverages that mimic what safeties do. Before we get into it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, become members. Got schemes. Schemes gonna be out the first day of official launch of Madden 23. So when it releases to everybody, you'll have a scheme in the member section, offensive and defenses, and we're just gonna be attacking it on the member side like bad. Okay, so just stay tuned for that. All right, so blues, if you're new to Madden, you don't understand the blues and how they work, I'm just gonna explain them to you. All right, now over here, we'll come to concepts. All right, it's important that if you're learning Madden, you know what your blues are doing and how to adjust for them. Now here's what I mean. So cover two, we'll start with cover two. You'll see you have two deep blues. Now, what does this mean as far as coverage goes on the field? I'm just picking any play, by the way. So these are the blues I'm talking about. So Burris right here and Chin. What they are is they are responsible for half of the field. So Chin has to guard half of the field with a deep blue, and so does this guy. Has to guard half of the field. Now, the benefits of using this is that you get to cover underneath a lot more. Okay, now this is a cover two style defense. Your mid read, so any angle route, in route is going to cook you on a mid read unless you set these guys or you shade underneath to where they sit low. Shading underneath right here will force your zones to play underneath. So you see this vert hook right here. If I shade underneath by pressing wire, triangle, right stick down, he'll play on the bottom of this yellow line. Okay. If I shade over the top, he'll play above, higher in this yellow circle. So shading up, shading low, boom, boom. Okay. Same for mid read. It's just mid read will get prioritized to the back of the field right here. You may even convert to man defense depending on how the routes are being ran. But for the most part, what we're really talking about today are the deep halves. Now, it's important that you understand that deep halves do have a weakness. The two weaknesses being from a cover two is this receiver right here. So behind the cloud flat, so let's say you shade underneath, right? And now this hard flat, he comes to a hard flat, he's gonna play down here underneath. So what this means is since this guy has to worry about half of the field, that means the receiver that goes on a streak on the left side can get to your weak spot. And your weak spot, I'll use this guy to show you guys. Okay, I'll put him on a spy. But this guy right here is gonna be the one that I show you. The weak spot to this cover two is going to be right here. All right. So this is very important for you to understand that you are weak right here. You're going to be weak right here in cover two, and you're going to be weak in the middle. Because if I take two wide receivers on the outside, your outside wide receivers, and put them on streaks, guess what? These guys get prioritized to these guys. This guy gets prioritized to this guy. And then the mid read, if we put it in route to force his prioritization in here, we can come with the deep post right here. So you see how your deep halves are weak. Now, how do you slow down anything coming up the middle? Well, you could take your mid read and you can put him on his own blue. So Carter, you select him, put him on a middle third. So what is a middle third? A middle third is pretty much a third of the field. So it's not halves. So cover two's deep halves, cover three are thirds. So let's go to the cover three so you can understand how that works. Okay, so cover three, we'll just pick any play, doesn't matter as long as we have the plays out there. So right here, you'll see three deep blues now. They are responsible for a third of the field. So this guy gets a third, this guy gets a third, and this guy gets a third. Now, the matchup principles for cover three, some of them are better than others. Some of them are really bad. And this is where a lot of cover three beaters come into play. Because with this defense, you're actually taking away someone from the field in coverage in the middle to help you with the deep back. Okay, so right here on the outside, you're covering more of the field. So where do you become weak in this defense? Well, you still have the underneath routes if you're not guarding underneath, but you also have the seam routes, vertical routes, anything coming over the middle of the field right here into this side and to this side. But in Madden, it's a little bit different. In Madden, cover threes get glitched out because of the way the coding is. You got to understand that this is not, it tries its best to be real football and have concepts. And yes, for the most part, you can still run those. But in the game of Madden, it's all about glitching out these. Okay. So my recommendation is, if you're gonna run a cover 3, especially in Madden 23, is you want to take these guys off their thirds and put them in deep halves. If we can guard half the field, because technically it's kind of like almost the same thing. It's just they cover a more specific side of the field, which is over here in their blues. But you can actually take these guys and put them on deep halves. You see the assignments on the left side? You can put these guys in deep halves, and now those cover 3 beaters that were going to beat you before won't beat you now, okay? And then we could take this guy, put him on a deep half as well, and leave this guy on the inside third. So now we're running a cover 3, but we're running a cover 2 zone in the back. You see what I'm saying? So you have your halves with your cover 2, you have your thirds with your cover 3. Now let's talk about the cover 4. All right, cover 4, we'll pick any play again. You're gonna notice now that you have your corners and your safeties guarding a quarter of the field as far as the backfield, the deep field. Okay, so the deep zones, quarter. You know what I mean? Now, in these defenses, they're very easy to glitch out because it's the game of Madden. So, like I said, you could do whatever you want. You could take deep halves, you could put them on deep halves if you want, and have it like that. So you'll have the quarters and you'll have your deep halves. People do this, I do this as well. Now, the weak spot of your defense is going to be underneath, quick out routes, things that are underneath, because when you're running a cover 4 style defense, you're doing it for 2 reasons. One, to stop the deep pass, and the other is run stopping action, because the run fits coming from 4 quarter defensive backs, the run fits actually work really well to stop the run. So if you didn't know that, that is a big factor in this game. Why did it reset to that? Wait, what, bro? This game, man, you would think, right, that when this game came out and this was happening, they would have fixed it. They never fixed this damn part of the game. It is horrible. But Ultimate Team, man, I mean, they got to pay more attention to that. I'm not mad at them. Now, obviously, when you snap the ball, they're not going to be doing this. I think they're going to play the way they're supposed to. But just to see that and how sloppy it is, it's bad. Okay. So that is how you tell. Let me just pick another play because you guys got to see it. So your cover 2, you guys have deep halves. You have your cover 3s, which gives up a little bit of the field, but they cover a third of the field. Then you have your cover 4, where it really gives up a lot of underneath throws, but you guard the backfield a lot. Now, the popular ones that people run are the cover 4 drop. So it's in 3-3-5 wide, but you see cover 4 drop in quarter. You'll be able to run quarter in Madden 23, by the way. Quarter defense is going to make its way back. But let's just look at cover 4 drop from the 4-3 odd. You'll see that it's the same thing. And people like this style of defense, the cover 4 drops better. Why is this guy? Let me baseline this guy. Let's get them out of the way like this. Man, this is ridiculous how bad this game is. Let me put this guy back on a curl or quarter or whatever they have him in. Curl. Oh, and now it pops up. Damn it. Baseline that. Yeah, so this guy will stay here. This guy will come this way. Now it looks pretty. Damn, this game's in shambles. Anyway, okay, so you have your 4 quarters guarding a quarter of the field. So, you know, late in the game, stuff like that, you want to run that. Now, on defense, you also have sticks. You press LB, press wire triangle, you see LB sticks. These guys will play the first down line. And in cover 4, these guys typically play their quarters a little bit better when you run sticks on that defense. However, not really a fan of sticks. I really didn't use it in Madden 22. Really hadn't needed to. But you got to understand that when you're running that defense, that your underneath routes are going to get open a lot quicker. You're going to have your stick concepts that really get open in cover 4. You're going to have your in routes. You're going to have your little small curl routes. You're going to have everything. Curl flat combos will cook you. Something easy that is underneath. So be careful when you're running this style of defense. Now, what people like to do is like me, I will put one guy on an inside third like this in my cover 4, and I will use the safety. I'll put him on a blitz. So now, you know, I'll have coverage pretty good, and I'll have a quarter style man up principle on the outside of my cover 4. And then you can take people down from the line if they're not in coverage and put people in like spies, vertical hooks. What's going to be good about defense in Madden 23 is that there's no more escape artist. So you're going to be able to have a good, solid defense. It's going to be it's going to be a defensive year. I think personally it's going to be a defensive year, unless they patch it to the ground and it becomes offensive again. But from the beta when I was playing, it was going to be defensive. Okay, pass rush, blitzes, stuff like that. You can send screamers right off the edge again, like you used to. But I just wanted to share this with you guys, just give you guys a view of the Blues and understood what they did. For those that don't know, I know a lot of you know already, but some of y'all didn't. I just wanted to share this info with you guys, man. Make sure you guys drop a like. Love you guys, man. Peace.